Jungkook is a super rich college dude who insulted you in public for being poor. And now, in order to seek your revenge, you are planning to gold dig Jungkook. In order to watch the previous parts of this video, please check out the playlist titled Revenge. Jungkook's jaw was clenched and his eyes looked fierce. I was familiar with Jungkook's pissed face. I was practically married to that expression. The way he was looking at me could only be described as a murderous expression. "Run," he whispered. If I hadn't written that, I might not be running like a crazy woman down a beach. "Wait till I get my hands on you," I heard Jungkook call out from behind me. Jungkook sounded closer than before, and upon hearing his threatening message, I ran faster. I wasn't sure what he wanted to do when he got his hands on me, but I certainly wasn't going to find out. Then I stupidly looked back over my shoulder. I found Jungkook behind me. He just kicked me with his leg. I collapsed and was skidding on the sand. "Jungkook, come on," I said breathlessly. "So, you think you can draw on my face when I am asleep, huh?" Jungkook whispered against my ear. His words silenced me, and feeling nervous, I swallowed. "It was supposed to be a joke," I said with a nervous laugh. Was it? Because I'm not laughing. Despite the fact he was literally threatening me, my stupid body was burning from the sensation of his strong, warm hands wrapped around my waist. It was hard not to be a little excited when we were both fairly dressed with my back pushed against his front. Suddenly, Jungkook lifted me up in the air. Then silently, without a word, Jungkook looked down at me with an evil glint in his eyes before starting to walk. Whoa, what are you doing?" I asked in panic. Jungkook completely ignored all my attempts to get down and continued to carry me silently towards the ocean. It was only when I heard the rippling sound of water moving against his feet. "Jungkook, wait, don't. Have fun," he chuckled. I hit the surface of water with a large crash, and I sucked in a breath before sinking down to the waves. The chilly water was a shock against my skin. Opening my eyes, I saw Jungkook's stupid legs in the distance. Suddenly, an idea struck me. With my plan firmly set in my mind, I closed my eyes and let all the muscles in my body go limp. After about 10 seconds of aimlessly sinking deeper, I heard a crashing sound through the water. Suddenly, a warm hand grabbed my wrist. Jungkook wrapped one of his arms around my waist to keep me afloat while I kept my eyes closed and my body unmoving. "Damn, Ryan, wake up," Jungkook said, his voice cracking slightly as he started to shake me. I couldn't see him, but the level of desperation in his tone was almost haunting. No, come on, wake up, you are not dead," he said with a slight stammer as he gave me a light double slap on the cheek. Then I felt his shaky hands drift from my cheek to my lips. I was alarmed as he was about to give me mouth to mouth. Realizing I had clearly taken the joke way too far, I opened my eyes. The fear in Jungkook's eyes faded to relief as his eyes flickered back and forth between mine. Then, taking me completely by surprise, he pulled me to his chest and gave me a tight hug. Not knowing what to do, I wrapped my arms around his back and gave him a double pat like the awkward person I was. "I'm so sorry, God. That was all my fault," he said softly near my ear. "I should have asked first and..." Jungkook cut himself and looked at me suspiciously. Wait a minute, how did you wake up so fast? Yeah, about that, I might have maybe faked drowning to maybe kinda scare you, I said with a nervous laugh. There was a long period of silence, and then more silence than even more. Suddenly, Jungkook made a large swiping motion with his hand and splashed me right in the face. I gasped in surprise and raised a hand over my face to protect myself. Okay, I'm sorry. Good, you should be. You scared the hell out of me. You know, I think your mean performance is worthy of another dosing, he said with a threatening spark to his eyes. I quickly tried to swim away, but Jungkook snatched me by the waist before I could. Jungkook lifted me out of the water and threw me backward. I was crashed into the water, but quickly swam back to the surface with a satisfied look. Thanks for that, I said dryly. Anytime, Jungkook winked. Hey, what happened to the straps of your swimsuit? Jungkook asked quickly as he gestured down to my shoulders. I realized there was no clothing over my shoulder, and the straps must have slipped down. Damn, my top has fallen off, I cried. I crouched down lower in the water and slapped my hands over my chest to cover as much of my chest as possible. Jungkook's face went from shocked to highly amused in a matter of seconds. He bit his lip to contain his laughter. Are you serious? Don't look, and yes, I'm damn serious. It must have slipped when you dropped me in the water. What the hell am I going to do? I cried. Hey, I'm not complaining. Jungkook winked. I took one of my hands briefly away from my chest to splash him. Shut up. This isn't funny. Come on, it is a little funny. Stop smiling and help me find it, I cried in frustration. Alright, I will help you. Let me go and find it. Be back in a second, Jungkook said before his head suddenly disappeared underneath the water. I crossed my arms even tighter over my chest, scared that he would look at my... About a minute later, Jungkook popped up from the water, and I almost sobbed in relief when his arm raised up out of water to hold up my bikini top. Oh my god, thanks Jungkook, you are a lifesaver, I said as I reached out to take it. Before I could, Jungkook pulled it back sharply. Nah, not yet, he taunted. Jungkook, what the hell, give it back, I yelled. How badly do you want it back? He teased. Are you blackmailing me? Yep. Fine, Jungkook, name your price. What do you want? I want access to your room tonight, he said bluntly. What? I cried in shock. I just want you to open your door for me when I knock. I will explain the rest to you later, he explained with a cunning smile. Okay, fine, then deal, I said slowly. Good doing business with you, Jungkook chuckled as he held my bikini top out for me to take. I quickly snatched it up with a scowl before turning away from him so I could put it on properly. I got the front in position rather quickly, but tying up my back strands proved more difficult. I was annoyed as I lost the end of the bikini string. I normally didn't struggle, but my hands were still shaking from the anxiety of being topless in front of Jungkook. As I reached behind my back to try and find the string again, warm hands brushed against my back, causing me to jump. Relax, it's me. You want me to help? Jungkook murmured over my shoulder as he tugged at one of the strings. The knowledge that it was him made me do the opposite of relax, and my adrenaline felt like it was going through the roof. I nodded my head. Yeah, sure. Jungkook's fingers moved to tie the knot, and they brushed against my skin, and shamelessly, it drove my mind to bad places. Places that involved Jungkook pulling the bikini string loose rather than tying them. All done, Jungkook whispered, his voice sounding lower and more stressed than I remembered. Even though he was done, Jungkook's hands lingered on my back. Slowly, his hands moved to my waist. Still holding me in place, those striking eyes of his peered into mine. The playfulness in them was long gone, and in its place an expression of need. Then Jungkook moved the tiniest bit closer, and so did I, all the while keeping our gazes interlocked. It was only when his eyes dropped down to my lips that I finally came to my senses. Clearing my throat, I backed away. I'm kinda cold. I'm going to go back to the beach, I muttered. Then, turning around, I marched my way out of the water and didn't dare look back. Relaxing back against the cushion on my chair, I stared out towards the sea. My mind was still far away. I kept replaying what had happened between Jungkook and me in the water over and over. The part where he touched me and looked at me with those beautiful soft eyes of his before leaning and Wyan, a voice came abruptly. I said as I sharply turned my head towards Jungkook. Jungkook nodded his head over to the finely dressed waiter who had come to the table without me even realizing it. What would you like to order? Oh, right, I said with a stupid laugh as I glanced down at the menu. I guess I will have the fish and the chips. Excellent. We will have your orders with you shortly, the waiter explained politely. As soon as he was gone, Jungkook cleared his throat and leaned forward in his seat. Hey, are you alright? You have been awfully quiet since we got back from the beach, he finished. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm a little tired, that's all, I said as I gave him a weak smile. Jungkook's eyes narrowed slightly, clearly not believing me, but he didn't say anything to push me further. Suddenly, our little staring match was interrupted by the sound of someone clearing their throat. We both looked up in surprise, and I found myself staring into the taunting eyes of Jungkook's brother, Noah. Mind if I sit? He asked smoothly. Before either one of us could respond, he stole a chair from the empty table beside. The two of us glared at him in silence. Who the hell told you that you could sit here? Noah chuckled as though he hadn't been insulted. I didn't know I needed an invitation to sit with my little brother. I cleared my throat. Look, Noah, no offense, but we are kinda trying to have a peaceful lunch. So, would you kindly, how do I phrase this? Oh, right, got it. Kindly get lost, I said bluntly with a small little smile on my face. Jungkook let out a loud snort, which he poorly tried to cover with a cuff. Noah's smile was instantly wiped off his face, and he glanced at the two of us. Well, this is the end of today's video. The next part will be soon uploaded. Thank you for watching. Bye.